Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Yes, I might be smiling. It's another day, beginning of another week. Yes, and words fail me. Well, it shouldn't, because I did actually predict a loss, even though I didn't actually say it for that whole week. But yeah, I knew it was going to happen. But I actually thought we would have lost by a greater margin. Couldn't even register one goal. But anyway, we've got 4 segmented live views coming right back at you on this show over here on Cannon Fodder TV. Shall we get into it? I think so. Yes. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Yes, it's the Monday morning show over here. I've got 2 more weeks to go on my vacation until I go back to my placement. And there will no longer be any more morning shows. Yeah, you get me out of your boat race, your face. Yeah, I won't be seeing this face on the morning shows anymore. There won't be afternoon shows. But anyway, whilst we're here, let's kind of make sure we enjoy the hour and a little bit that we have together on Cannon Fodder TV. And what can you do right now? Subscribe. That is all you have to do. Just subscribe. Use your little pinky or your thumb or your toes, but still, maybe your elbow. I wish I saw an elbow too on the game last night. Rob Holding, God, you see that tackle he did there? It was nowhere near the player. What was it? Was it Reece James? Anyway, guys, just make sure you subscribe. Be part of the community. We have surpassed 14,000 subscribers, and that's only on YouTube. So a big thank you to each and every one of you who are watching now. I see that 14 and rising. Thank you for being part of the community. Thank you for getting us to 14,000. I'm not going to choke up. I know I have done in previous times when I've spoken about the rise of Cannon Fodder TV. But guys, thank you so very much to get us to this point. Actually, did I say 15? I said 15 was going to be our target. My nephew has said, "Oh, Unc." I said, "Yes, Neff." He said, "Unc." I said, "Yes, Neff." He said, "Unc. You know, when you get to 20,000, I've got a surprise for you." I said, "What surprise is that you're talking about?" "Well, Unc, you have to wait and see." I said, "Right, okay." But yeah, little bird has told me that he's well connected with a former Arsenal player. A former Arsenal player. Have to wait and see. Let's wait and see. So we've got 6,000 more subscribers before we get any ex-Arsenal player coming on Cannon Fodder TV. I don't know who it is, but my nephew is quite well connected. Show off. I'm not sure if you're watching now. Neff, show off. But anyway, let's get into this one, shall we? Yes. The first bit of news, I tell you what. Oh my goodness. Oh dear. If you don't know, where have you been? Yeah, Arsenal lost 2-0. Yeah, that's for starters. But anyway, Bakary Sagna and Emmanuel Petit launched scathing attack and rage. "We have lost our DNA" after Chelsea lost. The pair worked as pundits for the match on French telly and were left disgusted by the Gunners' 2-0 defeat. Sagna, now age 38, claimed that Arsenal have lost their DNA. While Petit, I don't know, mention their age for, told his old team to give him a call to help with player recruitment. Oh my goodness. Well, you know what, man, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring as well. If they want to call me for any kind of, I don't know, constructive criticism and how we can go forward, because my old mentor would always say, it's easy for anyone to criticize, but, you know, it's more intelligent to come up with some solutions. We all can criticize, but come up with a solution. Appearing on RMC Sport, former right-back Sagna said, "When I watch Arsenal now, honestly, I know they are going to lose the majority of the time. That is something is going to happen. Yeah, that we are going to concede a stupid goal. When I was playing, you know, anyone would be excited to join us. So now we have lost The DNA. How can you spend 150 million euros and only bring in young players? It might be good for the future, but someone has got to think about the present. Petit added, I don't feel anything watching Arsenal. I've become completely desanitized. As you get, oh my goodness. I feel nothing. What is the plan? We have spent close to the most in the Premier League this summer. I don't understand it. So a sad indictment, actually, from two former players. Like Sang said, that I just knew Arsenal were going to lose, but the fashion, I actually thought that the margin was going to be a lot greater, a lot greater. Now, Tuchel come in, Champions League winners. Oh, let's sign Romelu Lukaku. I was thinking, right, okay. And then there was some talk about, oh, is Lukaku going to be even available? Didn't really matter. Didn't really matter. I mean, the thing is, Arsenal could have lost maybe 4, 5, or even 6-0. Because I couldn't even see even where we were going to score, even though I predicted 3-1. Because I thought our star boy, the star child, Bukayo Saka, would have scored. But I never thought that he was a starter. I thought he'll come off the bench, fresh legs. He looks so short. And I'm not blaming him. I blame the whole team, as well as Mikel Arteta. But anyway, in regards to this segment here, yeah, Bakary Sagna and Manu Petit just gave an attack. Goodness, he's Arsenal, Manu Petit. If you want to help with recruitment, just give me a call. Give me a call, says Manu Petit, and I'll help you guys out with recruitment. Maybe that's what Arsenal needs, an ex-player to understand the DNA, the kind of player type that we need at Arsenal. I've said for the longest time, guys, and I sound like a broken record. I am absolutely sure. And I'm sorry. But I don't care whether a player is able to take on 20 or 30 players with his left foot or his left toe. I'm looking at the situation when we are 1-0 down, 2-0 down. On a Monday night when it's rainy, even worse still, when we're at the Emirates. Do I have the players with the right mentality to say, you know what, let's roll up our sleeves, guys, we're in a fight, but we are still in it. When Arsenal went 1-0 down, I didn't get the feeling that Arsenal were going to be like that. We're going to be still in the game, we're going to fight for it. That didn't come to mind. The first thing that came to mind was, all right, how many more goals? How many more goals are Arsenal going to, actually going to concede? And it wouldn't have mattered whether Lacazette was playing, whether Thomas Partey was playing, whether Auba was like fit, hadn't come back from COVID. Didn't really matter. Didn't really matter because we've seen what's happened over the last 2 seasons. The last 2 seasons have told us the same story. Game in, game out. You can blame Arteta, and I do blame Arteta, but I also, blame the players. You've got to be of that player type that you're willing to fight for everything. Fight for everything. And I didn't see that last night. Didn't see it. Saw players like walking around, not closing down. Just the same attributes. That attribute, there is going to be a consequence. You have to change that kind of attributes to get a different outcome. So whether it's Arteta is not preparing the players, whether they're not mentally strong enough, whether they're too inexperienced, whether they can't be bothered, and I tell you what, all those 4 things I mentioned just now, that is in the mix. The players are confused, they can't be bothered, they're inexperienced, they have no direction, no plan. There's no fire in the belly. And so, again, I go back to the point about when you're recruiting players, the first thing I'm looking at is your mentality. What kind of mentality do you have? Are you willing to fight for the cause? Are you willing to run your guts out? The cause requires you to run your guts out, to never give up, never give in. Are you that kind of player? I'm looking at your report. Your report says, oh, you know what? He scored like 20 goals. Under what conditions? Under what conditions did he score those goals? Your report says you got 20 assists. Under what conditions? Have you really come up against, you know, a situation where we're 2-0 down inside 5 or 10 minutes? Are you a player to throw in the towel? Because if you are, we don't want that kind of player at Arsenal. I've said it there. I have said it. Another thing off my chest. Oh dear, we haven't there's a lot more to go. There's 3 more segments to go on this one, people. 3 more segments. I feel the growing pains, And just talking about players, you know, I saw a report actually, early doors, in regards to actually I'll read this report first before we go anywhere. So let's read this one first. I sound like I'm all over the shop, innit? You're all over the gaff, Alex. Sort yourself out. Sort it out. This one comes out from the Daily Mirror, actually. And the Daily Mirror actually says that, you know, Ian Wright praises one Arsenal star after Chelsea loss. I know I've put up Smith Rowe, but in this report, Ian Wright says that he felt Albert Lokonga was very good for the Gunners. I disagree with him. He was okay, but the one player for me stood out was the player you can see now. Emil Smith Rowe. He was the player. He was my man of the match. And then there's another player as well I want to mention, but I'll mention him later on in this live podcast. But for me, again, the report here, the fans are probably able to count the positives on one hand. Sambi, however, was one of those to come in for a lot of credit, with many feeling that he was by far their best player. And Ian Wright has agreed with those praising the summer signing. The former Arsenal striker also suggested that Nicola Pepe could be reasonably happy with his display. Not for me. What game was Ian Wright watching? Pepe, I mean, sometimes he's just like caught napping, not tracking the runner, not closing down the players. I mean, his forward play, I mean, maybe he listened to me because I was saying to him, look, keep it nice and simple, but it's not all about attacking. You've got to defend as well. So, yeah, Ian Wright, Pepe, nah. He said, what I saw that today, apart from Lokonga, I thought he was very good today. Pepe did a bit in places. I thought we were really bereft of anything that he told us match day 2. I don't know what the tactics were, because when you look at how easy they were able to breach, for me, it was quite frightening. So again, I go back, you know, he sees out Sambi Lokonga, but for me, I thought it was Emil Smith Rowe. Again, I can't remember who fired the ball in from the right-hand side, but Emil Smith Rowe just killed the ball dead. I had a shot, I think, with his left foot, only for it to be, you know, deflected off the defender. But I'm thinking, this guy here, Emil Smith Rowe. And I guess maybe, you know, Samba with the long pass, diagonal pass he did over, I think, who was it for? Was it Tierney or Saka? Yeah, good stuff. But you can see Arsenal are short all over the pitch. All over the pitch. You know, the way we conceded the first goal, being sucked in. Yeah, and the left-hand side was exposed. But I'm thinking, you know, if that's happened a couple of times, because there were a couple of warning signs there, I'm thinking I would be communicating with the midfielder. Who was on that side? It was Saka. Saka was not match fit. Shouldn't have started the game. Should have come off the bench. But again, it goes down to leadership, communication, you know, fighting and running your guts out. All of which we don't have. We don't have in this current squad. So like I said, I'm not going to be the one saying the squad is quite good. You know, we're going to get in top 4, because the squad is not good. The squad needs experienced players. We've had experienced players, but the experienced players are not good enough. They're just not good enough. You got Xhaka as the captain. Yeah, I said it. Xhaka as the captain. Brentford, remember he ran out as the first player, as the captain would. And then the game yesterday. So there's no leadership there. There's no communication. And there's Pablo Mari getting assaulted by Lukaku. Oh my goodness. Oh, dear me. But in regards to this segment here, Ian Wright saying Sambi Lokonga was a stand-up player. For me, no. It was Emma Smith-Rowe and Rob Holding. Because when Rob Holding came up against, Lukaku, he handled him. He managed to handle him. He didn't get assaulted. He didn't get brushed aside like a piece of Lego. Holding should have scored with the header. Should have. Would have, could have, should have. Doesn't count for anything. But, I mean, for me, it was Emma Smith-Rowe stroke Rob Holding as my man of the match. Yeah, I said it. I said it. Not so much Sambi Lokonga. Who else? Or what else do we have to moan about? It's a moaning podcast. Oh my days! Oh my days! Ah, yes, indeedy. I tell you what. Oh my goodness! What was quite? Was it telling for me? It wasn't telling, but I've seen these looks before. I've seen them before. I coined the phrase the Olympiakis Lock. You know why? Because when we played them a couple of seasons ago at the Emirates, that was a real killer, a passionate killer. And I'm in the East Stand looking down because it went to extra time. I'm thinking, Arteta literally doesn't know what to do. Does not know what to do. That's why I coined the phrase the Olympiakis Lock. The camera pans to him last night. He's sat down on his haunches, looking down at the ground. This is not the photo, by the way, because I couldn't find that photo there. And you could see, didn't have no idea. Did not know what to do. And actually, now I'm beginning to feel sorry for him. Because I'm thinking, whatever he's doing, which is not the right thing, whichever players he plays, there's something not right there. But you can see, he's a manager out of ideas. Out of ideas. Will he walk? Will Mikel Arteta walk? I don't know. But again, just looking at his face, I'm thinking, he looked like a sorry sight, man. And again, I've reached to a point where now I feel sorry for him. But who remembers Kevin Keegan? You don't remember Kevin Keegan? Played for Newcastle, Liverpool, and FC Cologne. And he managed England. He managed England. And he, to date, has been the only England manager to abdicate. Abdicate. He just left the job. He said, you know what? I've realized that the job is too much for me. It's too big for me. And I thought, you know what? Kevin Keegan, it's a tough job to manage England. But the fact that you realize actually the job is too much for you and you're not too proud to actually admit it, I thought, all power to you, Kevin Keegan. All power to you. So I'm thinking, there's a lesson to be learned there, Mikel Arteta. There's a lesson to be learned there. There are some things that we're not able to do. There are some things that we'll never be able to do. But it takes a strong person to actually admit your limitations. Is he humble enough to actually say, you know what, okay, the job, I can't do the job. I realized the error in my ways. I came here thinking, a lot of gusto that I can take on this job. Managing one of the biggest clubs in the country. But actually, no. I'd far rather give it to somebody else. I've reached my limitations. I realize actually it's obvious I'm inexperienced. But is Mikel Arteta that kind of person to say, yeah, I need to be humble and actually say, you know what? I'll do a press conference and say, I'm so very sorry. I've messed up. I made a mistake, an error in judgment. The job literally is too big for me. And so with the Kevin Keegan situation, actually stepping down, didn't get sacked. He stepped down and said, no, the job is too big for me. Would Mikel Arteta do that? I'll leave that with you guys. I'll leave that with you. Oh yeah, so I'll keep him up on the screen. And there was some other bits and pieces in regards to when he was leaving the Emirates. Some fans were berating him. It's the frustration, isn't it? The frustration. Where are we? Where's my report? Yeah, angry fans confront Arteta outside the Emirates. A group of angry Arsenal fans confront under fire Mikel Arteta. Again, this is from the Mirror. Following Sunday's 2-goal home defeat at the hands of Chelsea. The home fans voiced their frustration at their beleaguered side, and they booed them off the pitch. Both half-time and full-time whistles, making the pleasure with the performance known. Arteta was then harassed by a group of fans as he attempted to leave the stadium later in the evening, as his car was surrounded while stationary as he exited the Emirates. One supporter said to the boss, "Arteta, was that good enough? Please leave the club." I don't think he used those words. He must have used maybe some colourful language. I've just seen actually, I can't remember the guy's name now. Charlie Watts. Again, the stats: 20 defeats in 60 games. It's glaring there, isn't it? And I put here, I'm not sure. It isn't good enough, and I struggle to see where Mikel Arteta goes from here. Oh, dearie me. Ah, dear. Is there a last segment of news? I think there is probably one. Oh yes. Let's get back to. I've got to, put back. Where is he? Where is he? Gonna put it back on the screen. Emma Smith Rowe. Again, I didn't realize this, but there was some accusations that players were arguing amongst themselves. You don't get to see that on a screen, whether you've got like a big screen like we've got over here, 50 odd inches screen there, or my screen here, which is like 18 inches. You don't get to see it because there's only so much a camera can pick up. But apparently some players were arguing amongst themselves. But this one, report again from the Mirror. This is Mikel Arteta's outburst at Emma Smith Rowe. There are claims that the Spaniard was barking instructions at the youngster on the touchline and was visibly annoyed that he wasn't pressing high enough. I was thinking, well, Emerson Rowe wasn't the only one. He wasn't the only one. And just quickly before I go on, do you know, I was happy to see Gabby Martinelli start yesterday, but you didn't realise 4 minutes before half-time, 4 minutes, in the 41st minute, he touched the ball. That was the only touch that he had in the first half. He was running around. They didn't pass the ball. The ball couldn't get to him because it was either hit too long or the defenders intercepted the ball. But Marta did not touch the ball until the 41st minute. How do I know? Because I was watching. He did not touch the ball until the 41st minute. Anyway. Yeah, so but Smith Rowe looked back at him, bemused, as he was unsure whether to stay or go, giving a clear indication that Arteta and his players are not on the same wavelength. That has been my suspicion. That's been my suspicion there. Again, if you're going to, a coach, a good manager, of course, you will be playing, training with your players, training or doing the runners and jogging around or whatever. What do they call it again? The exercises that they're going to be doing. But you have to have a game plan. What is the game plan? I'm not sure what the game plan has been for the last 18 months with Mikel Arteta. But then come game time, you're still having to shout to the players. To me, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I don't want to talk about my experience of being a footballer. No, so I won't give my experience. But what I will say is that if you have prepared the players, you go through the game plan, the patterns of play that you want to see on game day, and then you're on the touchline shouting to the players, something is not right. Something is not right. But yeah, the report says that, Arteta was shouting at Emma Smith Rowe. I was thinking, well, he wasn't the only one. There's probably 3 or 4 other players that you should have been shouting at. Now, there's all this talk about, Kieran Tierney, kind of left the back door open. I don't blame him. It goes down to the formation and the lack of communication. If you're getting pulled, all over the place, getting pulled out of position, it calls for the midfielder or the captain to say to you, hold your position. You're exposing us, or push up. I don't blame Kieran Tierney. Don't blame him at all. Don't blame him at all. But there were a couple of casualties. Not really casualties, but apparently Martinelli got subbed off. He had cramp in his legs. And who was the other player? I can't remember who's the other player that got taken off as well. Oh, Tierney. So we'll probably find out today what is the extent Kieran Tierney. I think maybe it's just a thigh strain. But that's what happens, isn't it? Who came into his place? Nuno Tavares. Good cover on that side there. So that, or these, or those have been the segments on this morning show on Cannon 4 TV. I just wonder how long. I know we're going to be playing in the League Cup on Wednesday, and then Man City, the Premier League winners. I mean, who does the fixtures, man? Who does the fixtures? Oh, my goodness. Let's make it hard for Arsenal. Nah, they make it hard for themselves anyway. So let's make it doubly hard for them. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, anyway, so those have been the segments there. Yeah. Bakary Sanga, this Anna Manu Petit just gave an attack, and what made me laugh in the report that Manu was saying, at Arsenal, look, give me a call if you want any help with recruitment. I was thinking, oh my goodness. The guy is willing to help Arsenal with the recruitment. And Bakary Sanga is just saying, literally, the DNA is long since gone. And it has. It has. Anyway, let's go and have a break. I deserve a break after this one. So when we come back from the break, we'll go into the live chat and see who has joined us on this Monday morning show. God, let me give myself something strong to drink. Okay, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed your quick refresher break. Maybe give you time to go to the toilet and get something strong to drink. Yeah, let's go into a live chat. First time this morning. Got Abdullah who says, what are you saying? I mean, what I'm saying. What are you saying? What are you saying, brother? Huh? What are you saying? Pop, 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 pop. Good morning, says Pop. Abdullah says, okay, he said, wash hands. I always wash my hands. What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? Samuel, good morning. Says, it seems we are sinking more. We are a sinking ship. Like I said, about having the cargo, putting more players on this sinking ship. Your first thought should be, let's offload the cargo, not put some more cargo on the sinking ship. But some people won't be told. Some people won't be told. Yeah, there you go. North Bank Ivory says, do you think Arteta has now lost the dressing room? I think he's lost some players. Some players are not giving it 110%. I think he actually said that before the season finished as well, didn't he? Or just straight after the season. But I think he's lost some players. I wouldn't say all the players. Player power. I've never wanted to see that at Arsenal, but modern day football, isn't it? Popeye Guna, good morning, Alex. Yes, I agree. Arteta should go, but the bigger problem is the quality of players. None of them can raise their game versus a top four team or under pressure. Not one of them. Welcome back, Popeye. Anyway, man. Hey, Static. So my morning show moderator is Static. Static, I hope you're feeling a lot better. I saw you on the other moderator on the other channel. It's Arsenal Fan Circle, I think. Can't remember, but welcome back, my friend. Welcome back. Oh, my goodness, I forgot to do something. Very, very quickly, Static. My brother has made a donation to your favorite charity. I was supposed to present and show the formal donation, but I'll have to do it maybe tomorrow. Completely forgot. Actually, I didn't think you were going to be moderated, but it doesn't matter. Good to see you back, my friend. Good to see you back. So I'm telling you, you're right now is Tierney. Party after these injuries, get another injury. This year we have to move them on. We're depending on them too much. Also, Pepe needs to step up or go. I agree, Pap. I thought Pepe, to me, I don't know. I just didn't see him. I mean, pre-season, maybe he peaked too soon. But the Pepe I saw in the pre-season compared to the Pepe I saw yesterday, chalk and cheese, so different. Close the player down. Because when you receive the ball, you can see their defenders, they don't give you any time. So give it back to them in equal measures. When they are on the ball, Pepe, you have to close them down. Just give them too much. And the thing is, again, I'm not picking on any specific player, because for me, the whole team was culpable apart from Smith Rowe, like I said, Rob Holding, who managed to manhandle Lukaku the way that you need to manhandle a guy like that. I mean, for me, chalk and cheese to me, man. Give that kind of player physicality, I can give it some as well. But Marty, on the other hand, man, he's got kind of brushed aside like a little piece of Lego. Hey, get out of the way. But Pepe, again, if you've got one player not putting their weight, of course you're a man down. But when you've got 3 or 4 players not doing that, forget it. Forget it. And I got the impression in the second half that Chelsea just took the foot off the pedal. They just took the foot off the pedal, which kind of gave the impression that, oh, actually, it was Arsenal, but it wasn't Arsenal. It was Chelsea. Tuchel, the Chelsea team there, it could have been 4, 5, or even 6 goals. Wonderful save by Leno, but the damage had already been done by then. Well, our moderator is saying, Arteta, get out of Arsenal Football Club. He's not happy. Welcome back, Static. Ibrahim, yes. Hey, I'm speechless. Yeah, me too, brother. Absolutely speechless. I mean, I saw the game like these days, before my wife used to hear me shouting, hey, but over the last 2 seasons, you couldn't hear a peep out of me. You probably hear me munching on some biscuits, but I'm not there saying, come on, nothing. Yeah. The problem of leadership starts right from the top. And Ibrahim, I always say this. People say, how can you blame the owner? How can you blame the owner? And I always say that the employees are a mirror image of the owner or the director of a company. A mirror image. If the owner doesn't care, guess what? Everybody else won't care because there's no standards there. The behavior is mirrored by the owner. You've got an owner who doesn't really understand football, doesn't care. What, Edu, what? You want 150 million pounds? Yeah, okay, there you go. Take the money. A serious owner would be asking questions. You want 150 million pounds for what? Show me. For who? Who do we have? Can't these players already do the job for us? They can't. Show me the evidence. Before I give you 150 million pounds, I want to see the results. Who are these players that you want to go after and buy? So again, like I said, it's one thing to give the money, but ask questions. Where is the money going to? For who? Why? Prove to me. Prove it to me before I give you a smidgen of a cent or a pound or a euro or a yen or Leone. Ibrahim. But again, you're right there. It starts from the top. Leadership. Leadership. Yeah, it's a mirror image of all the people below leadership. I've worked in so many schools. I've worked in a few companies. And the owner of the company or the leadership in school mirrors the teachers right down to the behavior of the children. So if the leadership doesn't care, what do you think is going to happen? Teachers are not going to care. I've got to do a report. Oh, I'll do the report. Don't worry. You know, and the children will be the same way. If you've got a strict leader who set the ethos, set the boundaries, has the consequences in place, the teachers will be like that. And the children will understand. This is what we demand. This is what the behavior we demand of the children, because they look at the adults and the adults are setting the example. So again, if you've got an owner who does not care, oh, guess what? The players won't care. They won't care. Mediocrity, yeah, that trickles down. The kind of players we're buying, they're for the future. Mediocrity. And I'm saying again, even if we had Aubameyang, Lacazette, Thomas Partey, who for me are the senior players, they've not been good enough. Oh, how do you know that, Alex? The last 2 seasons. The last 2 seasons we finished where? 8th place. So until we have an owner who really cares and really understands, better still, who's got someone directly beneath him and says, all right, this is how you run a club. This is how we have to do the recruiting. This is how we have to be active, proactive in a transfer market. These are the players we have to move on. But by the way, these are the players we have in the academy who we're hoping will make the transition into the first team. Now, from a manager's perspective, it's not only about preparing the player come game time. There's so many different facets. Dealing with the negativity, you know, speaking to players. Maybe players are not up for it. Sorry. Players are not all, they don't all have the same characteristics. Some players are a little more arrogant than others. Some players are very, you know, quiet. They're just there to play football. There's so many different characteristics that you have to deal with and you have to manage. So Arteta, like I said from the beginning, Kevin Keegan managing the most difficult job in football, managing England. And when he said, you know what, he did a press conference, you know, the job is too much for me, so I'm going to vacate the job. I think, wow. Because there's going to be some things, a lot of things that we're not able to do. So sometimes you have to be humble and say, all right, you know what? Just admit it and say, I can't do the job. I can't do the job. Stan Kroenke. Stan Kroenke. Anthony F, good morning. Says 129 minutes wasted where not one improves the starting 11, apart from Ødegaard and Sambi, according to Ian Wright, Lokonga. Albert Sambi Lokonga, kind of, you're probably thinking, oh, well, you know what, I'm just going to be part of the squad. I'm just grateful to be playing. for a big club like Arsenal. And my goodness, I tell you what, he's had to man up, and he's done a reasonable job. But you can see he needs help. He needs like a defensive midfielder, you know, in the two. So whether it's like, you know, he's behind or in front of the two defenders, or you can see it there. He is short. He needs help. Emerson Rowe needs help up top. The defense needs help all over the shop, all over the gaff. We are short. And also inflated the market for these players, and yet they complain they can't compete in transfer windows with other clubs. Backwards, Edu. Good morning, Sam. I saw your comment you put on this morning. Keegan also lost the last game at the Old Wembley. Yes, he did, yeah. Wasn't the last game before they demolished the Old Wembley, isn't it, to Germany? I respect him for that also. Again, there are going to be situations where rather than thinking, actually, I know, but let's see if I can get away with it. No, because it comes out in any kind of, it presents itself in a different way. You know, again, you know, talking about, you know, the schools I worked in where a leadership has left, and only for us to realize that actually the leadership, the head teacher, didn't really know what they were doing. They didn't know what they were doing because they left a trail of destruction behind them. So far rather have a person say, actually, you know what, I don't know. I need help. Or better still, best thing is if I just leave the job, leave it to somebody else who can do a better job than me. Oh, and it's not a sign of weakness that you can actually say, I can't do the job. I can't do the job. I probably need to go away, get more experience, and then come back and try again. But it takes a person who's humble in themselves to admit their limitations. Marvelous Martin, what are you saying, brother? What are you saying, man? Oh, my goodness. Dearie man. Did you see the game yesterday, brother? Oh. North Bank says Arteta has no idea. He was number 2 to a man who has never had to build a club. He has only managed the best in Europe. It's scary to put our faith in him. We need a man who can build and stabilize. And that's why I'm saying, is Antonio Conte that kind of manager? He will need a lot of money. He will need a lot of money to rebuild. We've just given Arteta, you know, the 130 million. If Antonio Conte was to come there, would he be seen as a long-term manager? Because Arsenal needs stabilization. We need a manager to be there for maximum 5 years. Antonio Conte, I don't think he's that kind of manager. Who should be our new manager? Well, the general consensus is marvelous. Is Antonio Conte. Antonio Conte. Popeye Gula says Project Youth is misleading. Arteta prefers to manage and work with those within his range age brackets. That's why players like Xhaka and Bellerin have stayed, and players like Saliba and Guendouzi leave. Listen, I'll hold my hand up and say I have been one calling for the youngsters to come through. Yeah, I said it. That's right. I said, don't tell your mama that I said it on Cannon 40 TV. I said it. I said I want the youngsters to come through. And they're here. But you've got to give them a direction, a proper, clear plan. The report there from the Mirror said that Arteta was shouting at Emil Smith Rowe, saying, "You're not pushing up. You need to be pushing up." And Emil Smith had this look. Well, so what do you want me to? Where do you want me to go? Where should I be? And so, if you have prepared them properly before game day, you shouldn't be asking questions of the players, directing them, instructing them, because you should have prepared them before. Did you not do that before, Arteta? Did you not prepare them? So it's one thing, and like I said, having the youngsters in the first team. And I say, yeah, I've been one of those people shouting, screaming for the youngsters. Now we saw Balogun play last night. Look short. I don't mean in stature. I'm thinking in Premier League experience. It's a different kettle of fish, isn't it? But why didn't you give him experience last season? Towards the end of last season, he should have had some game time to get a taste what it feels like to be playing in the Premier League. And now we're in the fight, 2 games in. You're looking for miracles. A miracle, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. And then you're thinking, right, okay, so I need my experienced players to be showing the ropes to the youngsters. But unfortunately, even experienced players came up short for the last 2 seasons. So what has all this recruitment been all about? What has it been all about? Well, go on, Alex. Come for to your family. He says, Monty, what's happening, my brother? Yeah, man. Yeah, you can hear me now. A little bit in the. I need to put the foot off the throttle a little bit. I find myself like ranting a little bit now. I don't want to be ranting. It's a big mistake, Arsenal, when moving new grounds. Faisal said. It's time for an energy. Enough of this Xhaka and Conga hype. Also, Arsenal. Alex, do you think Arsenal made mistakes in the transfer market because there's a performance preference at the club to recruit players under longer payment installments? For example, Pepe 72 versus Zaha 50 wanted up front. The recruitment has been a disaster class, period, for me. Whether we're thinking, oh, we want this kind of player, but we can only pay this player by installments. It's the player profile that has been killing us. The recruitment, that's what's killing us. I don't have nothing more to say. That whether it's by installments or you're paying the money now, it's the profile of player that has been killing us. I mean, Bakary Sanga said it himself there in a report that the DNA has gone out of Arsenal. It's gone. And he's saying literally, knowing now when he watches Arsenal, he knows it's just a matter of time when we're going to concede. And it's not if we're going to lose, it's when we're going to lose. The DNA, the profile of the player has gone. It's gone, period. Good morning, Doc. I've seen a bigger turnaround this week than last week. I could have been cut apart. We should have had a pen, and Rob Holding should have put the header away. Yes, and I did say that, Doc. I said, for me, he and Emerson were our best players. Not so much Lokonga. But, and I also said it in another podcast that I saw some improvements compared to, it couldn't get any worse, really. But I saw improvements, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough, and so we go into the League Cup against West Bromwich Albion on Wednesday, and then Premier League champions Man City on Sunday, I believe. So many players here for the money at our club, no hunger and no desire. Amrit says that a quality manager would change their tactics or make a game plan according to the limitations or qualities of this team players. Evening, Alex. Evening? Well, it's morning. Alex, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Dearie me. I'm just thinking, what can Antonio Conte do with limited funds? Because I don't think the board will give him or equal the amount of money that they've given to Arteta. I just can't see it. I can't see it. We are too slow off the ball. We need to close down faster. I was sickened around, or sickened rooms that I didn't get the game. Really? But I thought he played all right. Guys, sorry, I'm not comfortable in this chair here. Something's happened to the chair. Just give me a sec. But whilst I put this up on the screen, I'll be talking to you. She'll give me an opportunity to repeat the new segments of today in this morning's show. Yes, my goodness. Both he, the aforementioned Bakary Sagna, and Manu Petit have both said that, A, the DNA has gone at Arsenal, which is quite true and quite clear for me to see. And Manu Petit has said, well, you know what, Arsenal, give me a call. Give me a call when you need some help in recruitment. I was thinking, is that how far we have now fallen? Where players themselves, ex-players, have said that the DNA of Arsenal has now gone and that they are willing to give a helping hand in the recruitment for Arsenal. Absolutely terrible. Terrible. Also, who else did we speak about? Again, oh yeah. Some players were berating Arteta outside Emirates. He was stuck stationary in some traffic whilst he was leaving the Emirates. And they were saying to him, oh, you know, boss Arteta, was it good enough? It wasn't good enough, was it? Please leave the club. And there was a photo, actually, not a photo, there was a part, 5 or 10 minutes to go. The camera panned onto Arteta. Arteta was looking down. Again, the guy looks short on ideas, looked like he's given up. And that's why I referenced Kevin Keegan, because to date, he is the only England manager to leave the job. No, he didn't get sacked. He held his hand up and said, you know what, the job, I realize, is too big for me. And I'd far rather have somebody else come and do the job than me just faffing about trying to do the best thing that I know I'm not able to do the job. I asked a question. Can Arteta humble himself, hold up his hand and say, yeah, the job is too big for me. It's too big for me. You know, I realize, I know I'm inexperienced. I thought I could do the job. I can't do the job. So I'm going to leave the job, give it to somebody else who can possibly do a better job than me. Would Arteta do that? Can he find it within himself? Because now it's reached a point where I'm looking at him and I'm feeling a bit sorry for him. Anyway, Manuel says the players need to show that it's a privilege to play for Arsenal. Passiveness is killing us. But, you know, Manuel, I understand what you're saying, but again, it goes back to recruiting. Recruitment. Arsenal, do your homework. Do your homework. That's what I'm saying. Check out the profile of the player. Is this the kind of player that we want at Arsenal? Because it hasn't worked. Look for a different type of player. A player who has a bit of steel about them. Who are willing to fight, run their guts out, close the players down. And that's why I said, for me, Emerson Rowe represents the young part of Arsenal, obviously. Rob Holding represents the experienced part. What you're looking for a player, a little bit of nastiness. I mean, I saw the tackle he did, even though he missed the player. Was it Reece James? Got a yellow card. But you want that. You want a bit of passion. There was no passion. No passion at all. No passion. Nothing. Stephen says, hi, Alex. Arteta should go. Wash your hands. Okay. I'm also not devastated by the result, but it's only 2 games, and he's after another striker, I'd say. We're looking a bit short everywhere, to be honest, Doc. Our signings have been pathetic. Our club is getting worse after spending millions. Conga out, don't feed the parasites. I didn't go. I didn't go to the protest. I already made it plainly clear. The moment I heard there's going to be a protest, I'm still not comfortable in this chair, man. The moment I heard there was going to be a protest, I said, I'm not going to any protest, because I'd gone to all the protests, you know, towards the end of the season, the official protests, and I went on days when there was not an official protest, only there for me to be there on my jacks, nobody else there. One man and his dog, and the last protest I did with my brother, and there was nobody there. So I said, no, I'm not doing any protests, not going. And only to kind of tune into Arsenal Alex, there was no protest. What there was were people queuing up to go into the Emirates Stadium, as well as people going in and out of the Armoury. 50 goodness, let's get to 50 likes, says Monty. Oops. My understanding of any business is that there is a think tank. Who is the think tank? Because Arsenal must have some sort of strategy to move forward. Well, clearly there isn't. And that's why we need to have these AGMs, so we can be asking representatives of KSE, I didn't say KFC, I said KSE, what is the plan? What is the 5-year plan? What is the strategy going forward? But because you've got an owner who owns 100% of Arsenal, there's no AGMs anymore, is there? Colin says Mikel Arteta must go. Arteta out, Conte in. We are missing too much. Arsenal is a big team. Arteta must go, says Naili. Monty says we can't defend, we can't attack, we can't do anything right with this hierarchy in place. Arsenal will more than likely employ an ex-Bournemouth manager whose name escapes me, Eddie Howe. It's funny, I spoke about that with somebody, Colin, much Arsenal. He said the same thing. Ideally, we'll like Antonio Conte, but it's most likely they'll go for an Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe is the ex-manager you're talking about there. Odegaard and Conga are decent players, not match winners, not players who makes the difference in a game, especially when it counts. And that's what I said, Anton. I said not even Odegaard last night could have done much. Yeah. Sherry says we can continue with this form. Let Arteta go, please. Oh, you mean we cannot continue? They cannot continue. Yeah, Eddie Howe. Rose, good morning. Is Arsenal going to sign Hossam Aouar, or is it just a story? It's just a story. It won't happen. And even a Hossam Aouar, I'm still trying to get comfortable in his chair. Even a Hossam Aouar could not have stopped the way Chelsea played last night, Rose. Thanks, Monty. Arsenal will always find the cheap options. Yes. Prosper, good morning. Money coming in late to buy players from Kroenke. Now we're buying out of panic. We didn't need a £50 million CB. We could have brought in Daka and Morby. Yeah. Paul, good afternoon. All of us blame manager, but is it him or Edu? It's everyone. Everyone's culpable. Can you remember how Don Revie left? Well, I know he was sacked, but yeah, it was back in the 70s. I don't remember. I know at that time, I get comfortable in his chair. My goodness, I forgot his name now. Brian Clough. I know they did an interview. It wasn't a nice interview, but yeah, because he left Leeds to manage England, and Brian Clough came in to Leeds, and the Leeds hierarchy didn't like Brian Clough. But I don't remember the fine detail as to how he left the England job. I can't remember. Don Revie. Respect to Lumbukam, he said that this team needs a manager, and in my opinion, he seems to be a better manager than Arteta. Nonetheless, we need a new owner. Well, Prosper, Lumberg left to get more experience, didn't he? That's why he left. But he did say literally the players back there who couldn't give two hoots. And I think that's more on the nail rather than they need a manager, because a manager will come and go. But when you've got players there who don't really care, that is the root of the problem. One of the roots of the problem as well. Anthony D. Sister has Master Samuel says, blessings and good morning, Alex. Arsenal needs players to play for the badge and not for the big paycheck. That's another problem, isn't it? The game tempo is very much slow. You can't score any team with such tempo. Needs change. Your tactics, as Frank, we need the Arsenal. We knew back losing anything, but show fight spirit in the game. Spot on, Frank. Arsenal can't afford Conte. Pap says Arsenal sign 11. They all should be coming in as subs, not starting for the club. Oh, oh goodness. Obi says looking at the club, looking at the job done so far by Arteta and his coaching crew, I see a very big problem ahead. The selection's always wrong changes, same serious. Our club is bigger than this. Static says, Alex, 0 goals, 0 wins, 0 points is Arsenal's worst start in the Premier League since 1913. If Arsenal lose again to Man City and fail to score again, there'll be another new league record made. Time is up. I still believe that despite we see money spent, not one penny has been paid from the Kroenkes' pockets. If I'm right, if it leaves Arsenal in a very vulnerable position, especially if the decline continues. Well, Popeye, the people won't look at the fine details. They will look at the fact that we've got the money, we've had the money, we've spent the money, the most of any Premier League club in this transfer window. And yet still, you look at the squad, and you still don't see the quality. Like the person said there, who was it? Obi. It's Obi? Yeah. It's Obi who said that. Yeah, Obi. You don't see any of the signings there who really improves the first team. As a squad, yeah, we've got the numbers in squad there, but the quality needs to come in for the first. Who's going to be a sure start? Who's going to be starting out from these players that were signed there? Well, Ben White, £50 million. Still, not for me. Not for me. Not for me. Massive shout out to our 14,000 plus subscribers and followers on other platforms. Without you, there could never ever be at Canonfoy TV. Yeah, we've broken the 14,000 mark now, and I did say initially that our next point to celebrate would be 15,000. That was it there. But listen. Thank you to each and every one of you. Every single one of you, has counted and brought us to the point where we are now. And I know I bang on about it, but I never thought when we started the channel that I would ever be saying those words. 1,000, much less 1,000, 14,000. I never thought I'd be saying those words. Thousands of subscribers. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. So I'll come on through very, very quickly. Every chip in and buy, Alex. Again, yeah. Please chip in. Well, yeah, we've got the super chat there. I just really uncomfortable. That's why I had to put the. It's so uncomfortable, man. Dear, yeah. Hi, I never left. Oh, dearie me. What's good is Kroenke has backed Arteta more than Wenger and Emery. He's put his faith in the wrong manager. It's as simple as that. That's it's in the league, bro. The old first division and the EPL. This is beyond disgusting. When is it gonna end? I don't know, man. I don't know. I said the wrong person, man. This is the big problem for Arsenal. Arteta needs to go, please. Is Kroenke offer Arsenal another more money? I want to know, bro. Money is not going to solve the problem. It's how you use the money. It's how you use the money. Remember who you are and what you represent by our very own Mr. David Rocastle, true Arsenal. The club has forgotten this. We talk about the ethos. Like I said, the assembled. The ethos will always be the ethos. It's about the board members meeting and matching and going beyond the ethos. It's about the recruitment, the players. If they can also too match and understand the ethos, not only matching it, but going far beyond that. It's about the manager. Does the manager really understand the ethos? Because players will come and go. But can they really understand what is the ethos of Arsenal Football Club? Matching it and going far beyond the ethos. Set a new high standards. And then when they've long since gone, because time waits for no man. Time was always going to run and run and run. And when I look back, I remember when Liam Brady, my hero at Arsenal, and when he eventually left to go to Juventus, and where we are with the Invincibles, looking at when Bergkamp joined, when Thierry Henry joined, the time has gone so very quick. So very quick. And then you look back and say, those players really understood what the ethos was and is, what it meant to be playing for Arsenal. And they leave an indelible mark on your memory. It does. But then you see what happens over time when it's been diluted, different philosophies come in, and the next thing you know, those players are a distant memory. And that's the only thing we have to grab hold of. And remember, the memory, the invincible season, the players like, maybe a David Rocastle or a Liam Brady, a Thierry Henry, a Dennis Bergkamp, even a Frank McClintock or a Geordie Armstrong. All those players, the memory has since faded, and that's the only thing we have to hold on to, the history of Arsenal. But the ethos will always be the ethos, because the ethos got us, beyond a defeat, that we were still in the fight. The ethos got us those players there, a David Rocastle, a manager like George Graham. The ethos got us the Invincibles. But the moment people forget the ethos and try and reinvent the wheel, this is what happens. The club becomes into a decline. Empires rise and empires fall, but it's what you do when you're at the bottom. When we have lost 2 games on the trot, what do you intend to do? Look at the ethos and remember who you are, where you are, and what you represent. Anyway, guys, I am out on this one. I've just seen Monty very quickly put in the link for his YouTube channel here. Yes, Monty has his own channel there. So, guys, doesn't cost anything. Go over, subscribe to his channel, click the link. Wonderful content there. And also I can see, as I said, actually 15K subs incoming. Yeah, thank you for that, Monty. And Monty, thank you for being a source of how can I say, resources and being like my wingman. Last year I was like, what am I going to do? And Monty said, can I be one of, can I mod? I said, yeah, Monty, come and mod. I didn't have the membership right at that time. I said to Monty, I'm thinking of doing other services. What do you think about that? And Monty said, no, you know what? You can do the membership scheme. Do the members, and you can also have, promote your services. I was thinking, all right. And since then, Monty, yeah, it's been like my wingman. I mean, I've got all my other moderators there, but yeah, Monty, thank you very much for being with us for the longest time. Yeah, 15,000 subscribers and counting, I've also got Arsenal. Alex, also, guys, go over and make sure you subscribe to his channel as well. Alex, I'm very sorry. I know you went to the Emirates. Where was the protest? There was no protest, was there? Thank you. Congratulations on 14,000. Well deserved. Thank you. Thank you for that. Do you think Ek would make any difference with Arteta and Edu? He would probably not want them there. I'm not making the assumption, but for you to make a clean break and change the direction of the club, you'd have to remove people from certain positions. And yeah, knowing that he's a businessman, he's made millions, billions, it would be foolhardy to keep the same regime there. You'd have to change. So I think he would look to change, make changes in those positions there. We are out of here. We are done. We are dusted. We're finished. Kaput. I'm not even talking about Arsenal. It's been a bit of a difficult one because the chair is so uncomfortable. I'm not sure what's going on this hanging chair. I've been like, I haven't got piles. I haven't got piles, people. But thank you for joining me on this this show, Monday. I will be back tomorrow. Will I be back tomorrow? Yeah, I will be back tomorrow. I've got lots of things I need to be focusing on. But I'll be back. It will be a short show because I do have other projects I'm focusing on. But yeah, and also my brother will be back doing the voice of reason. Oh my goodness. But I see the numbers have kind of shot up as well for his segment as well. But guys, thank you so much for your undivided support on Cannon Fodder TV. Yeah, there's not much more I can say, man, than that. Yeah, dear. What's going to happen on Wednesday? Yeah, League Cup, West Bromwich Albion, even more so on Sunday against Man City. But we're not there yet. We're not quite there yet. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Anyway, guys, on this this Monday morning show, you have been listening to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. I have learned from the life I live that there are opportunities all around us if we will only just look and listen. With opportunities comes risk and rejection, yes, but imagine looking back and saying, I did that, rather than waiting until it was too late. If you want passive income and a sense of personal freedom, act now. This is not for everyone. Not everyone is looking. If you are that person, contact us now. ArsenalRepublic1@gmail.com.